GTA 6 is supposed to have next-gen AI, but depending on who you ask, that either means smarter cops or full-on sentient NPCs. So today we're going to be talking about 5 theories floating around the interwebs, and I'm going to tell you what they are, what I like or don't like about them, and whether they're based or straight up delusional. If you're new here, click subscribe. For some reason, a lot of you watch regularly, but seem to have commitment issues. Either way, the channel's growing super fast, and I want to thank each and every one of you who keeps showing up. But for those of you that don't know me, I'm Sav. This ain't your average YouTube clickbait. Let's dive in. So when people say AI in games, they're not always talking about the same thing. Most of the time, what they actually mean is the same thing we've referred to as AI for the last 20 years. Stuff like enemies that patrol, take cover, or chase you. It feels smart, but it's really just if this, then that logic. It's scripted decision trees and hard-coded behavior. Other times, and especially more recently, they mean AI that's actually generative, like ChatGPT, or game tools like InWorld or Convey. These let NPCs respond in real time and generate their own dialogue on the fly. Like in that Matrix demo where somebody modded in generative AI and convinced a random NPC that they were living in a simulation.
I don't really have a choice in the matter, do I?
Oh, the irony. So the line between real intelligence and really good fakery gets blurry fast, especially in games where faking it is kind of the whole point. All right, so this is one of the theories that I've seen the most, and honestly, I think it's one of the more believable ones. The idea here is that if you commit a crime, you get into a fight, rob a store, cause some chaos, NPCs might actually post footage of it on the in-game social media app. Not just calling the cops, but actually contributing to your reputation online. One of the comments I got in my community post that I posted yesterday was from Dement. He said that NPCs might have fake media accounts with random names that post about your crimes, like procedurally generated GTA TikToks showing off your worst moments. Now, given how much Rockstar has already flaunted the social media system, I actually think this is pretty plausible. You wouldn't even have to see someone filming, the game could just trigger a clip in the background and post it later. It could be a mix of scripted events and generated camera angles that make it feel dynamic. You throw in a voiceover reaction from an NPC, maybe some shaky cam, it would sell the idea without being technically complex. So yeah, I'm putting this one up there as pretty likely, and given the heavily featured social media system in the trailers, I'd almost bet something like this is already in the works. Okay, so this one feels like a natural next step. GTA has always had some amazing in-game media like Weasel News, ridiculous talk radio, fake commercials, you name it. The theory here is that instead of relying only on pre-scripted bits, these systems could actually pull from player actions. So if you rob a store or cause a chase, it might show up in the news later. Now, there's been a ton of hype online about GTA 6 bringing in real artists and giving the in-game radio a major upgrade. If Rockstar really wants to push immersion beyond just the music, AI could play a key role in this. Imagine if what you do in the world shape the media around you, not just the talk shows or the news anchors reacting to chaos, but also immersive updates that pull you into the story even if you're not into the music scene. It's the kind of detail that Rockstar's already really good at. It feels immersive without needing to be super technical. If they were to just improve upon what they've already done in GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, this would be the logical next step. It could be simple triggers, like maybe you cause a multi-car pileup and then Weasel News drops a traffic warning later on. Or maybe a talk show guest jokes about someone robbing the local convenience store and they describe that person and it kind of matches your description at the time. These could be pre-written clips or just slotted in depending on what happens around you, but the generative AI could even come into play when we're describing the specifics of the incident, which is how you get this dynamic evolving content. Now this one I say is likely, probably limited. It's easy enough to implement and it fits Rockstar's style, but I wouldn't be expecting a full-on AI commentary system. All right. Here we go, the one people really want to believe, the dream. NPCs so smart, you can hold a full conversation with them. Not just scripted lines, actual back and forths. You ask questions through your in-game microphone and get context-aware responses, maybe even change their behavior over time. Now, this theory says that GTA 6 will include some level of sentient NPCs. You walk up to someone and instead of getting a line like, "Hey, watch it," you can actually talk to them. Okay, so we got a comment from somebody named AJN Art or Agent Art. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but he said an actual AI interaction would be talking using your microphone in-game to the NPCs and each having a personality and on-the-fly generated voice lines. Now, as a concept, it's pretty wild and it would be really fun to mess with. And don't get me wrong, I would love it if this were in the game, but I don't think Rockstar wants players turning every street corner into a chatbot playground. If anything, I could see them using voice AI for specific interactions, maybe in online or maybe tied to certain side content, but it'd be extremely limited. You can't really quality control an open microphone. And Rockstar values strict narrative control and polish. Letting players inject randomness through open-ended AI completely breaks that model. And moderation and abuse concerns would be a nightmare, especially in online, where voiced input could be misused instantly. AI models that are capable of believing context-aware interaction are expensive to run and require ongoing cloud access. And then finally, there's no evidence from any leaks, patents, or hiring trends that points to Rockstar developing anything like this. So yeah, it's definitely fun to imagine, but I'm calling this one very unlikely. Rockstar is all about polish and control, and giving players the ability to talk to anyone at any time sounds like chaos. Sorry if I just rained on anybody's parade. Now, if you guys like this kind of content and you're enjoying this so far and want to see more, I have plenty of other GTA 6 theories to cover in follow-up episodes. So vote with the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, on to number 4. Now, this theory is a little more out there, but still worth entertaining. What if Rockstar used AI to randomly generate faces, names, voices, and backstories for every NPC in the game? Instead of recycling the same 20 faces like in GTA 5, what if every single pedestrian felt unique? AI could blend different facial structures, swap in new voice patterns, and stitch together little bios to create the illusion of an endlessly varied population. This came from viewer Terrence T202. He said maybe AI creates unique lives for each NPC in the game where they change clothes each day and go places and do things and activities pertaining to their lives. Now, this would definitely help avoid that moment where you realize you've seen the same NPC walking by 10 times. It would make Vice City feel way bigger than it actually is. While generating variations of faces and bodies is relatively simple with generative AI, doing it live in-game would almost certainly require limitations. Most of that kind of processing would need to be done during the development cycle. And then there's the voice problem. Rockstar is not just going to let an AI voice get too weird or inconsistent. I could see them pulling from a pool of pre-approved voice lines or synthetic voices, but giving AI free reign would open the door to some real immersion-breaking stuff. Most likely, this would be a mix and match system. AI could generate hundreds or thousands of NPC templates during development with different combinations of faces, bodies, and voices. Then those get baked into the world at spawn. And if Rockstar really wanted to sell it, they could layer in routines and slight clothing variation over time to give each NPC a small sense of daily life. Now, is this plausible or unlikely? It would definitely improve crowd diversity, which we know Rockstar is aiming for given the crowd sizes in the trailer shots. But the tech is very risky at runtime, especially if you want consistency, polish, and voice performance. So overall, I think a reeled-in version of this is likely in the works. Variations would be finite, and I'd expect Rockstar to create a massive pool of combinations to avoid repeats in a crowd, but don't expect some infinite identity generator constantly building new people in the background. I think that's probably not going to happen. And this brings us to our final theory for the day. This one's pretty simple, but powerful. What if interiors in GTA 6 weren't just handcrafted, but procedurally generated using AI? Now imagine opening a real estate app in-game, and every time you check it, there's a fresh set of properties for sale. Each interior is slightly different, layout, furniture, lighting, all tweaked by AI, so no two players can see the exact same version, if we're strictly talking about GTA Online. Now this stemmed from viewer Baron Van Housen 88. He said, AI could be an opportunity to make every story mode save file unique. For example, instead of everybody trying to buy the same properties, a randomized list of properties with AI generated interiors goes up for sale every month in-game. Similar idea with used car and boat listings being updated with unique set of AI chosen customization options. Now, what I like about this theory is the replayability angle. It gives players a reason to check back in, it adds value to owning property, and could seriously increase immersion. What I don't like about it is the risk. If the layouts don't feel believable or the AI places a couch in front of the door, it could cheapen the experience. And Rockstar's style is detail obsessed. I can't really see them letting AI fully dictate the look of anything players are going to spend serious time in. So how this might actually work would be most likely a semi-automated system. So devs could use AI to generate tons of interior variations during development, then handpick or polish them before launch. The listings update dynamically, but the assets themselves are pre-vetted. That still gives players a dynamic feel without sacrificing quality control. And this idea actually lines up with a real Rockstar patent. Patent number US 20190192908. 71, whatever. And this was filed back in 2017, and it outlines a system for generating virtual spaces using modular templates. It's more of a developer side tool that helps create large numbers of believable interiors during production. And for anyone claiming that the date on this makes it a Red Dead Redemption 2 patent, incorrect. I hate to break it to you, but none of that text showed up in Red Dead Redemption 2. This feels like a forward-looking tool, something made for GTA 6's scale. Now, this is definitely plausible. Rockstar already has a track record of procedural systems like Titane. They're just not going to let AI fully run wild. There's going to be a human pass. If Rockstar wants to make the housing market feel alive without building hundreds of interiors by hand, this is how you do it. But if you've made it this far, drop a green heart in the comments so I know who the goats are. And an extra shout out to everyone supporting the channel. You guys are amazing, and hopefully we can continue to find more members so you three aren't so lonely in the members only feed. If you got your own wild theory about GTA 6 or the AI system or anything for that matter, drop it in the comments. You might end up being featured in the next video. Anyway, I'm Sav. I'll catch you guys on the next one.